Good morning, 8th grade class. I hope you're doing well today. We are going to continue learning about hyphens today. I have actually learned some things myself. I'm not sharing some of the more challenging parts of hyphens. I figure you'll get to that in the next year or two as you move on up through school. But for our level this year, I think that this will be fine. We learned 4 rules yesterday with hyphens, and today we're going to continue with 3 more. And I think there's just a few more after this, so we'll add a few more rules to those tomorrow. So you might jot these down as we go. Okay, so just remember that a hyphen, it glues words together. And so a lot of times it helps people to avoid confusion. It helps things to be more clear that might not necessarily be clear. Yesterday we learned a little bit about compound nouns that have to be hyphenated. And some of those same nouns can be used as adjectives. So today we're going to focus on compound adjectives that are hyphenated. So for instance, a 2-seater aircraft, you would hyphenate 2-seater. Never to be forgotten experience. This is something that goes together, so you would hyphenate that. 24-hour time. Sometimes we do this with numbers too. An 8-hour day. Those kinds of things, you're going to hyphenate the number with the hour or with the word that is attached. Also remember that a hyphen, you don't put spaces between the hyphen and either word that it's near. It's not the same as a dash, so a hyphen is different. Dashes, I don't know that we'll get to that this year, we might. But a hyphen is what's going to help you avoid ambiguity. Sometimes with compound nouns and compound adjectives, it's hard to know, do I need a hyphen or do I not need a hyphen? And so sometimes you just have to think, is this going to help it be more clear to have the hyphen? Are they going to know what I'm talking about? And if you're not sure, just ask. You can ask me, or you can look online, you can look in your book to find out. When I'm writing a paper for a class, if I don't know, I check it out because I don't want to make a mistake. So avoiding ambiguity, this is just avoiding confusion. That's just a fancy word for that. All right, so look at this one. I thought this one was kind of interesting. A heavy metal detector and a heavy metal detector. So here, these two phrases actually mean different things. Here, heavy metal is talking about metals that are heavy, and so that would be like plutonium or uranium, these heavy metals that probably emit radioactivity. So if you have a heavy metal detector, you're trying to detect if they are emitting radiation. But if you have a heavy metal detector, then the detector is heavy and it's made of metal. So here you have to have a hyphen to show what you're meaning. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Also, another rule of thumb, you never hyphen words with very. So very will never have a hyphen attached to it. And if you have an adverb ending in ly. So if something is an adverb, like quickly, you wouldn't hyphenate something with quickly. Now that doesn't mean all ly words. That's only adverbs, like the word friendly, a friendly looking dog. You would hyphenate that because friendly is an adjective. So just make sure that you know that if it's an adverb or an adjective. So that can be a little tricky sometimes. Okay, the 6th rule that we're going to cover, ages. If you're talking about how old someone is as an adjective here, or not even necessarily an adjective, this could be as a noun too, like I have a 2-year-old. That would be hyphenated. 2-year-old child, you hyphenate between both. You don't just hyphenate the first one, you hyphenate both. A 16-year-old, you would hyphenate that. But if it's plural, if the date or the days or the hours, if the time part of that is plural, you do not. So if you said he is 2 years old, you don't hyphenate that. If you said he is a 2-year-old, you would hyphenate that. Okay, and then rule number 7, avoid confusion. All right, so we kind of talked about that already, but you want to think about using a hyphen if it's going to solve the problem of people being confused. And also just look it up and double check if you're not sure. This one was kind of interesting. He had a concealed weapons permit. Well, what does that mean? Was his permit concealed? Could you not see the permit? Or does he have a permit to carry concealed weapons? Well, most of us kind of know, well, it's probably the second one. But because it could be confusing, you would hyphenate that. So he had a concealed weapons permit, if you mean to say that he had a permit to where he could conceal his weapons. The next one, the school had a little known problem. Okay, well, is their problem that not many people know about it, or did they have a small problem? All right, so a known problem, but it was small. So here, it's probably the first one. It's a problem that not many people know about, so you would hyphenate that to avoid ambiguity and confusion. So there you go. That's our lesson today for hyphens, and you will have a little quiz to take here in a little bit online. You can use your notes for that. You can Google information if you can't remember or you need more examples, and just message me if you're unclear about something. I know you can hear my dogs barking, so that means somebody's going to be here in just a second, and so I have to go. But you guys have a great day. I miss you.